honestly had no clue this was a thing until I was looking at the films that were coming out in April, because I like to have a list on Letterboxd which basically says these are the films coming out in 2025. Sort of like a watch list, a checklist as well, but more of a watch list just to see what I need to watch coming out this year. And this one was tucked away right at the end of the month, and it's scheduled for release, or it was scheduled on release on Netflix. I saw it was an action thriller starring Tom Hardy and Forrest Whitaker. Louise Guzman, Timothy Oliphant were the names I recognised from the supporting cast. So I just thought, why not? Let's check this one out. In Havoc, a late night drug deal goes wrong, in which results in Patrick Walker, Tom Hardy, being tasked with the rough task of trying to rescue a politician's estranged son. Here he uncovers a huge wave of corruption in his society and confronts not only a bunch of bad guys and enemies, but also his dark past. So I went into Havoc with low expectations. I think it was the Netflix action thriller title which made me think this, which I guess is a little unfair, but with how inconsistent Netflix can be, especially with this genre, I can't help but be a little wary into going into watching films like this. I was also unfamiliar with the director Gareth Evans, who also directed both the Raid films, which are well received. And I didn't know this going into the film. And he also created the show Gangs of London, again, well received. I've heard people talk great things about the show, so I really actually should have done my research, because I think my expectations would have changed had I known he made these great stuff. Like, I was expecting this to be an absolute dumpster fire of a film, but it wasn't really that bad. This film is exactly what it says on the tin. It's a pure action thriller. There's so much going on here, and it does exactly what the title says. There is a lot of havoc here. The action begins instantly, which is great because my attention was grabbed from the off, and they do build on this. The action sequences are pulled off really well. I've spoken quite a bit recently with action films that they just need to be engaging. I need to be enticed, and this for sure was engaging. There was a scene where Tom Hardy's trying to get the son out of a club, and this goes on for about 10 minutes, this scene, and it's so good. There's a lot of chaos, a lot of gun shooting, gun fighting, actual fighting, people figuring things out as well with the corruption, like that's displayed again. This scene was a lot of fun and just sort of epitomized the true strength of this film, which was this sort of action. It's also really violent. When you load up a film on Netflix, as you play it, the BBFC logo pops up, and this happened for this one, and the 18 age rating popped up, and I was instantly like, whoa, okay. What are we getting here for this to be an 18? And it's definitely the violence. A lot of headshots with blood just spattering everywhere, like they use shotguns, and that just blows people apart. So if you're a fan of that stuff, boy, do I have a film for you to watch. I said a second ago that the action starts off quickly, and it does, but there are a few pacing issues where you jump from the action, then back to the exposition. And because the exposition is kind of generic and there's nothing entirely new here, the attention that you've grabbed now, you're starting to lose. This doesn't just happen in the beginning, it's all throughout. I do think with a story that isn't this generic and stuff we haven't seen before, this might not have been that big of an issue. I didn't think this was amazing, like at all, but I was surprised with it. Tom Hardy action is always a blast and a lot of fun, even if the film's not great. I think you will have fun with him, and I'm a fan of this dark, grittier action, so that bit I was always going to click with. This film does have mixed reviews, and I do understand why, and I've noticed that quite a few of these reviews have come from people who have seen the Raid films, and they're saying that they're not as good. I can't comment on that because, like I said earlier, I haven't seen the Raid films, so I don't know. But if you want a film that is John Wick-esque with the action, and you want to check something out which is new, which is easily accessible if you've got a Netflix account, then why not check this out? So I give Havoc 3.5 stars. If you haven't seen Havoc, let me know what you thought, and if you enjoyed this review, please like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next.